Welcome to Everything Eichler. I'm your host, Fred Eichler, and this week I'm going to be back in Virginia hunting with my buddy CJ from Montana Decoys. Me and CJ have been buddies for quite a while, and we've hunted a lot of places together. We've hunted South Carolina, we've hunted Colorado, we've hunted Wyoming, and we've hunted Virginia together. And we always have an absolute blast, always cut up, lots of laughs, always pick on each other a lot.
All right, me and my little buddy fixing to head out and do a little hunt here in Virginia. What do you think, CJ?
It's gonna be great.
Got us squared away?
Yeah, oh yeah, we're good to go. Just eat your banana.
And last year, you may remember, I shot this beautiful deer with my recurve. I also shot a doe that came right up to my Trixie decoy. Now, of course, CJ tries to take all the credit for this beautiful buck because he saw a deer. I don't even really think it was this one, but he saw a couple bucks and he said, Fred, I've got to go back. My son's got a football game, but you can stay and hunt the lease. If you want to go hunt, knock yourself out. So I set up my own stand, not where CJ had suggested I put it, an area that I thought looked better. Yes, he gave me a general direction on his Onyx map, but the deer, based on my stand placement, walked by at 5 yards, and I shot it.
I just shot a monster whitetail in Virginia with my bare recurve. Holy chowder, I am freaking out.
I was pretty excited. You'll see I was shaking a little bit. I thought it was the biggest deer in the world because I usually shoot the first deer that comes by. All the big animals I've shot, usually it's just because it happens to be the first one that walked by. So when I shot this guy, I was like, oh my gosh, he's giant. Jim Crumbly, the guy that invented tree bark camouflage, actually came and picked me up, helped me load my deer up and take it back.
Frederick, this in Bottom Top County, Virginia, is about as good as you're going to get.
No kidding.
It is. He is a dandy.
Well, I really wanted to hunt Virginia again, so I called CJ up and I'm like, CJ, my mount's done. I've got to go pick it up. Maybe we should go on your lease when I go out to pick up my deer. Now, the taxidermist could have shipped my deer, but there was no way I was going to miss an opportunity to invite myself to hunt with CJ again. So as always, I get every tag I can get. I get a whitetail tag, a turkey tag, a bear tag, a little bit of everything. And I had been guiding hunters in Colorado and hunting myself, had just shot a beautiful elk in Colorado, and I decided I was gonna drive straight through to Virginia to go hunt with CJ. The scenery here in Virginia is worth coming for. Just the scenery. It's absolutely beautiful. It's fall, it's the latter part of October, the leaves are starting to change, and it literally looks like a postcard everywhere you look. CJ was adamant. He's like, Fred, we're quality hunting. We're trying to shoot big bucks or does, shoot what you want, but I want you to set up, try and shoot a mature buck. And I'm like, you're killing me, CJ, but okay. So I set up Trixie, and I've got bucks coming in all over the place. I've got them coming into the decoy. I've got does coming in to check her out. I've got all these different deer checking out the decoy. And I'd be like, CJ, it looks like a big 3x3. He's like, no, is it a 3.5-year-old deer or older? I'm like, no. He's like, wait, there's some big deer here. And I was losing my mind because I'd also had not only bucks come right up to Trixie, but I even had one buck check this deer out. This little buck came up to Trixie and started rubbing a tree, and he's soft bleeding at her. I had all kinds of action.
That was so cool. That's such a great example of why a decoy can help you kill a white-tailed deer. That buck saw the decoy and came in from almost 50 yards away through the trees and came right up to the decoy within 4 yards. My buddy doesn't want me shooting little ones, but I might have to ask him again if it's okay. Because I'm losing my mind.
Meanwhile, I see a bear like cruises by me eating acorns, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's bears, there's deer. I hadn't seen a turkey yet, but I'm seeing all kinds of animals and I'm losing my mind.
I came back from the truck. CJ's super happy with me as I passed up yet another small buck that I would have liked to have shot.
That's what, 2 in your lifetime? Maybe.
Look at you, what do you got going there?
Oh man, got a little coffee. You know I love coffee. Since I got to practically babysit you anyway, I felt like I'd have you a cup of coffee ready too.
Oh my God, gotta babysit me and keep me from shooting little
Shooting all the
bucks.
small bucks.
CJ is texting me and he's like, I'm seeing bucks all over the place. I passed up a doe. I've got this going on, that going on. I'm like, CJ, I like to eat deer meat. Please, I feel like a little kid asking his dad something. I'm like, CJ, can I please shoot this deer? No, I'd rather you hold off. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm holding off, I'm waiting. Finally, CJ's like, Fred, if you want to shoot a doe, it's okay. So I'm set up in the stand. I glance behind me, and here comes a doe. So I get super excited, like I'm gonna shoot it. So what I think is a doe comes by, I mean, I put it to it, because with a traditional bow, you're staring at where you wanna hit, not what. I'm just deer. I pick a spot and shoot.
Beautiful little doe. Just smoked her. It's 10:50. I told CJ I'd get out of the stand at 11, and it doesn't get any better than that. Check it out. Wasp CBW. Cuts both ways. That's because it's sharpened on the back end. Check out this blood trail. That is the Wasp sharpshooter, and it is deadly. It's a button buck. CJ's gonna be tickle pink with me.
Well, I go to get my doe, and it has little spikes on it. And I'm like, CJ, I just shot basically a button buck. He's like, Fred, that's okay, it's fine. But what happened to hold out, like I said, and shoot big bucks? And I'm like, CJ, I couldn't help it. Like, my bow just shot, and I didn't know. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. That's my story.
Well, here's the beautiful little spike I shot this morning. Pretty cool. I wanted to take some meat back home to Colorado, and although I've seen quite a few deer, both does and bucks, I've been having a blast watching them interact with the Montana decoy. This Trixie doe, the tail, I think, is pivotal, and watching them come up to her. I had one little buck the other day that got so close, he literally started rubbing a little tree 4 feet from her. Just really cool. But when this little guy came by, I was like, I'm taking a deer back to Colorado. The arrow hit probably right in the center of the lung here. Might have gotten the heart. I'll open it up and show you. And then blew right out with the Wasp CBW. Right out this far leg. You can see right there. That's where the broadhead came out. So blew all the way through. It was still poking in. But that was the Wasp sharpshooter. Hey, I'm Fred Eichler, hunting with my buddy CJ here in Virginia. And we will be right back.
So I gave CJ a GoPro. I'm like, CJ, it's pretty fun. You can get it on video. You know, push the button on your GoPro. It's pretty simple.
Well, the stand's in the right place. That was just the wrong deer coming down the trail. Hopefully they get bigger and not smaller.
CJ is also an animal when it comes to whitetail hunting, because not only does he love to eat deer meat, and he shoots deer every year, but he can pass up a lot of different bucks. I'm not so good at it, but CJ's like, oh, I just saw 3 bucks and 2 bucks were fighting in front of me, and I had this going on. And I'm like, did you shoot them? Oh no, they weren't really, you know, I know what's here, and I'm holding out for a bigger buck. Now, I drive CJ crazy because I'm just the opposite. I'm like, I saw a buck and I shot him. Well, how big was it? I don't know. It was a buck. I got super excited and I shot it.
That was a prime example of what you would call an Eichler buck. Actually, that would be a magnum Eichler buck. He was a 6-point, not a spike or a 2-point.
So one of the reasons that I picked up my mount is so he could look at my big Virginia deer, which is actually bigger than any deer that he's ever shot in Virginia. And it's one of the reasons that I have it sitting right here as I'm doing this video. So CJ is gonna shoot a deer for me, and I am excited. Well, I'll tell it how it happened. I get a text from CJ and it just says, I have a story, not a good one. I'm like, what happened? So we meet back at the truck. CJ's like, I'll just show you the video. He's also shooting an older bear takedown recurve, custom Kodiak with the latch system. It's a beautiful bow, wood riser, gorgeous. CJ set up, this deer comes by, and CJ would usually never miss a shot like this. But he's got a GoPro on and he wants it to be perfect. So he makes sure he's got clearance on the limb above him, make sure he's not gonna hit the tree stand. Deer comes by, CJ draws back, and when he lets go, his bottom limb hits his leg, and you can hear all his arrows bounce out of his quiver. And he's like, oh my gosh, he just can't believe he just missed this doe. So of course it was something for me to pick on CJ about, which made it even better.
Guess she figures I'm no threat. And she's right. Well, that was a rookie error. I didn't pay attention to my bottom limb, and it hit something right when I shot. And I spooked another deer by doing this instead of paying attention. Rookie.
Well, I'm tickled pink. I have some venison to take back to Colorado, but I'm going back out in the stand looking to see if I can find a big mature doe or a big buck like the one I shot last year in Virginia. What do I see? But another bear. This bear's eating acorns. He's cruising up towards me and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm getting excited. I see this bear at 80, then he gets to 60, then he gets to 40. And I'm starting to lose light and I've only got like 10 more minutes of legal shooting light. This bear's coming up and he's working toward me. He gets about 25 to 30 yards and then like bears will do, he's just like, I think I'm gonna feed this way now. So he's walking around, he's picking up acorns and he turns and he starts cutting back. Well, I got a gap between some trees. I'm like, I'm gonna shoot this bear. It's a little farther than I wanted him, but I'm like, I think I can make this shot. I pick a spot, I drop back, I drop my arrow, and I watch my arrow go right underneath this bear. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I was shaking so bad. My heart was pounding. I was like, I was breathing heavy. It was like, what is going on? But that's what I love about bow hunting. If you don't get excited, well, then I don't know why anybody would be out there doing it. And I just get a little too excited. I need to get a little calmer. I need to be a little bit more like CJ. Not too much, but a little bit more like CJ. A little calmer. I just need to not hit my leg.
I was shaking so bad. That was so incredible. I have no idea.
Well, me and CJ like constantly teasing each other, and we were also trying to shoot a gray squirrel first. So CJ missed a gray squirrel, and unfortunately, I missed a gray squirrel.
Just missed a Virginia squirrel. But it looked really close.
CJ and me were self-videoing. Now, sometimes that's tough. So we're using GoPros and we're videoing ourselves hunting. But some of the hysterical things that happen are the little videos that I get from CJ on his cell phone. Like CJ, he's from South Carolina, and CJ's a super guy, but he has some funny ways of saying things. So he was trying to impress me with how deer they just don't know he's in the woods. They just don't know he's there. So at one point, he literally texted me and had to send me a video because a buck had gone 360 degrees around him. Now I know for a fact that CJ had not taken a shower in 3 days. He smelled as badly as I did because I hadn't taken a shower either, because time we'd get back in, we were exhausted, we'd sleep and get up early and go right back out hunting. But CJ says to me, Fred, I'm telling you, I've taken my hunting to the next level. I smell invisible to the deer. And I'm like, what? You smell invisible? But to CJ, it made perfect sense. Unfortunately, I think he thinks that means that if you go long enough without a shower, somehow the deer's noses just stop working. They literally can't smell you at a certain point if your scent is so overpowering. It's like people that use skunk scent to hide their human scent. So CJ's convinced this works, and I think it's hysterical. I don't know, he happened to have one buck do a 360 around him and not smell him. Maybe the deer had lost its olfactory sense. Maybe it was just born without one. But that has convinced CJ that he smells invisible.
That's 2 deer that have walked completely around me this morning, like in a complete circle around me. And I know you're going to want to know what my secret weapon is for remaining scent-free from whitetails. And it's coffee. It fixes everything.
Well, sometimes trying to video yourself is tough. And at one point, I have this one little buck circling, and he's checking out the decoy. And I am trying to video it with a little handy cam, my GoPro, and it is just a roadie. Like, I'm trying to video, I'm trying to get my recurve together, I'm videoing my face, snot running down my nose. It is unbelievable as I'm trying to get this deer and the decoy, because me and CJ are constantly trying to impress each other with the video and the deer that we get super close and in range. But it wasn't working out so great for me. But it made me feel a little better that CJ's self-video sometimes didn't work out a whole lot better.
That buck was standing right there, came all the way around, and that decoy made all the difference. That was cool.